Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video we are going to be looking into number one. We're going to get rid of the script bit down here. I've already gotten ahead and removed it. And secondly, we are going to start trying to charge users. So let's get started with essentially using alpha in here instead. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say x data. And in here, I'm going to then go ahead and I'm going to pass through some data here to initialize everything required. So to get started with, let's have Stripe set to null, card element set to null, and email, we will entangle the email with using the customer form email, and the same for the name. Outside of that, what we also want to do is we want to go ahead and essentially say async submit, and in here we then want to say await wire.call validate. But before we do that, let's go ahead into our checkout function and make sure that we have everything required. So I'm going to go ahead and create a couple of new functions. I'm going to go ahead and create public function get payment intent property. And in here, I'm going to say return auth user create setup intent. So this function will just create a payment intent. I'm also going to go in and I'm going to make sure we have the ability to call the validate function. So I'm going to call validate. And I'm going to say this validate. Also going to have a function here saying get error count. And then here we're just going to say this get error back count. And with that sorted, let's see if our application still works fine. It seems like it. I have the Stripe dashboard open here just to see if there's anything of interest to look at in there. So with that sorted, let's head back into our checkout.data.php file. And in here, we want to make sure we also have a let error errors. And in here, let's just say await wire.get error count. And outside that, let's just say if errors are greater than or equal to 1, we want to just return. Otherwise, we want to create a payment intent with an error here and await on Stripe that confirm payment method. So I've gone ahead and I've just done the rest of the code here, so it's easily accessible and so you don't have to watch me type it all out. We're initializing in here, so that allows us to essentially initialize the card element in here. And outside of that, we are able to then say console log that error in here for now. We can be calling a function called checkout in here. So let's go ahead and also create that function called checkout. And obviously, we want to make sure that we are actually wanting to have this entire bit here inside the wrap it around all of it here. So we just want to call this another section again, just make sure that you change it down here. We want to make this into a form instead. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it after the class though, just to make it a bit easier. I'm gonna refresh the page. And we can start out with making sure that we are properly calling this wire.validate. So let's go back down here to make sure the bottom is, in this case, just going to be a type of submit. But what if we change it up here in the form? For example, we want to make sure that we have some more in here. So we want to say X on submit.prevent. This is alpha code, and we just want to say submit. So we're calling the submit function in there instead. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to refresh the page. And you can see it's validating. It's actually validating the relevant details. And then in the next video, what we can go ahead and do is we can actually create a charge on the back end for a logged in user, and then be able to give them an invoice and so on. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.